Hello and welcome to MiniMapNews. My name is Jeremy and this is a weekly show where I break down games news from the last week. Before we jump in, I just want to give a quick shout out to everyone that gave me feedback on my first episode last week. If you enjoy what you see today, make sure you jump on over to minimap.com.au to see everything else that we do. Let's get into it. First up, the biggest news out of this past week is that Nintendo is planning on a Switch model with a 7-inch OLED screen. The story comes from Takashi Mochizuki and Sohee Kim at Bloomberg, who says that Nintendo has partnered with Samsung for the displays, with production starting sometime in June. The new panels from Samsung are reportedly 7-inch OLED displays with a resolution of 720p. When talking to Bloomberg, Yoshihiro Tamura, co-founder of display consultancy DSCC, says the new displays will, quote, consume less battery, offer higher contrast and possibly faster response time when compared to the Switch's current LCD display, end quote. Additionally, Bloomberg's report also mentions that the new Switch model will also include a 4K output to TVs, which follows developers being asked by Nintendo to make their games 4K ready, as reported by Bloomberg last year. Their sources also say that Nintendo was hoping to release the new Switch model in time for the end-of-year holiday. Over the weekend, Microsoft's $7.5 billion acquisition of Zenimax Media, and in turn Bethesda and all its subsidiaries, has been approved by the European Commission. This story comes from Tom Warren over at The Verge, who reports that the acquisition required EU approval before Microsoft could finalise the Bethesda deal. Now that they have approval, it's only a matter of time before the deal is finalised, and presumably, Microsoft and Bethesda begin to detail their upcoming plans. There are still many questions up in the air regarding the console's exclusivity of Bethesda games on Xbox platforms, as well as games that are going to come to services like Xbox Game Pass and xCloud. Speaking of acquisitions, Epic Games has acquired Mediatonic, the studio that created the hit 2020 game Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. In a blog post on Mediatonic's website, they mentioned that the deal will, quote, accelerate our plans to improve the game and bring Fall Guys to as many players as possible while continuing to support the community. Meanwhile, on Epic's website, Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney says, it's no secret that Epic is invested in building the metaverse, and Tonic Games shares this goal. As Epic works to build this virtual future, we need great creative talent who know how to build powerful games, content, and experiences. Whatever virtual future means, thanks billionaire Tim. Mediatonic also put out a quick fact which answers a few questions about the future of Fall Guys, such as that there are currently no announcements regarding the game going free to play, similar to what Rocket League did after it was acquired by Epic, as well as Fortnite Battle Royale. While it's a no-brainer that Fall Guys will come to the Epic Games Store eventually, they have no plans to stop supporting and selling the game on Steam and consoles. Up next, the latest game from the Alien franchise has been announced in the form of Aliens Fireteam. The debut game from Cold Iron Studios, Aliens Fireteam is a co-op, class-based third-person shooter set a few decades after the original Alien film series. The announcement trailer went up last week, with a 25-minute pre-alpha gameplay video following on IGN's YouTube channel. The video shows off class abilities, the many different alien types, in which there are 20, and demonstrations of some of the mechanics. The developers in the video also mentioned that BAFTA-winning composer Austin Wintory has joined the project to create the score. Wintory is known for composing the music for games such as Journey, Flow, and most recently, The Pathless. Aliens Fireteam is coming to the Xboxes, the PlayStations, and PC later this year. And finally, Fantasian, the newest game from the creator of the Final Fantasy series, has been announced for the Apple Arcade. The game is being developed by Mistwalker, a studio co-founded by Hironobu Sakaguchi, who was the creator and director on Final Fantasies 1-5 and has various other credits on Final Fantasies 6-12, Kingdom Hearts, Chrono Cross, Xenogears, and many others. The trailer itself looks very Final Fantasy, with magic, robots, airships, and giant swords, as well as 2B from Nier Automata, Aerith from Final Fantasy VII, and the giant space whales from the end of Star Wars Rebels. The music is being composed by legendary composer Nobuo Uematsu, a long-term collaborator of Sakaguchi. Uematsu was the main composer for the Final Fantasy games 1-11 and worked as a composer for many other games. Fantasian could also be the final full soundtrack from the composer. In an interview with Bradley Shankar from Mobile Syrup, Sakaguchi said that due to some health concerns, quote, there were concerns if he were going to be able to compose everything or if it was even possible for him to work on this. Sakaguchi then added, I think he kind of hinted that Fantasian is maybe the last game that he does from end to end in terms of scoring an entire soundtrack. On a positive note, he poured his heart and soul into it. For me, when I heard it, it almost made me tear up a little bit because it was a very big moment in both of our careers, end quote. I'll put the full story from Mobile Syrup in the description below. Fantasian is releasing on the Apple Arcade and currently has no release date. And that's the news for the week of March 9, 2021. If you enjoyed this video or you have any other feedback, please make sure to leave a comment down below and check out minimap.com.au for all the other work that we do. Also make sure to chuck us a follow on Twitter at minimapau. Thank you for watching.